The entertainment industry thrives on mystery, gossip, and the allure of stardom. But when it comes to Xiao Zhan, one of China's most beloved actors and singers, the whispers of romance never seem to stop. From backstage encounters to subtle glances during live events, every little move he makes becomes the subject of heated speculation. Fans have dissected interviews, paused videos frame by frame, and turned casual friendships into dramatic love stories. Yet recently, Xiao Zhan gave a response that shook the entire fandom to its core. Bold, unapologetic, and unlike anything we've seen from him before. The atmosphere was tense when Xiao Zhan appeared on stage at a high-profile fan event. The venue was buzzing with anticipation, cameras flashing from every direction, fans screaming his name with banners held high. The organizers had carefully planned the night to celebrate his success, but everyone in that hall knew the elephant in the room. Rumors about Xiao Zhan's supposed secret relationship had reached a fever pitch online. Blogs, tabloids, and gossip sites speculated endlessly, while social media hashtags about his personal life trended for days. Then, in the middle of a light-hearted Q&A session, a fan bravely, or perhaps recklessly, shouted a question that silenced the room. "Is it true you're in love?" The entire hall gasped. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Xiao Zhan's reaction was unexpected. Instead of brushing it off with a shy smile, or deflecting the way celebrities usually do, he leaned into the microphone, his eyes sharp yet calm, and delivered words that had the audience screaming in disbelief. His answer wasn't just about the rumors. It was about his freedom, his truth, and his refusal to let strangers dictate his life. He began with a smile, that disarming charm he's known for, but his tone was clear and firm. "People will always talk," he said. "If I'm seen laughing with someone, they say we're dating. If I share a stage with someone, they say we're in love. If I stay quiet, they say I'm hiding something. But here's the truth. I'm not living my life to satisfy gossip. I'm living my life as me, as Xiao Zhan." The crowd erupted, but Xiao Zhan wasn't finished. He raised his hand gently, signaling for silence, and continued. "I value love, I value friendship, and I value respect. If one day I do fall in love, I will share it when I am ready, not when rumors force me to. I want to be known for my work, my songs, my performances, not the stories strangers create in their imaginations." The boldness of his words electrified the room. Some fans were in tears, shouting his name, while others applauded wildly, their cheers echoing like thunder. This wasn't just a celebrity protecting his privacy. This was a man taking control of his own narrative. For years, Xiao Zhan has been under the microscope, every movement analyzed and exaggerated. But in this moment, he drew a line between his artistry and the noise of gossip. Behind the scenes, sources say that Xiao Zhan had grown increasingly frustrated with how relationship rumors overshadowed his professional milestones. His hard work in dramas, films, and music often risked being drowned out by whispers of who he might or might not be seeing. Some insiders even revealed that he had discussed with his team the need to address the situation head-on. But no one expected him to do it so publicly, with such fiery honesty. What made his response unforgettable was not just the words themselves, but the confidence with which he delivered them. He didn't flinch, didn't rush, didn't show anger, only clarity and conviction. He turned a potentially awkward moment into a powerful declaration of independence, and in doing so, redefined how stars in the Chinese entertainment industry could handle personal rumors. Fans took to social media instantly. Clips of his response spread like wildfire. Hashtags like #XiaoZhanSpeaks and #BoldZhan trended within hours, dominating Weibo and even spilling into international fan spaces. Many praised his courage, calling it a refreshing move in an industry where silence is often the default. One fan commented, "He didn't just defend himself, he defended every artist who deserves the right to love in peace." Others admired the poetic way he framed his words, balancing firmness with grace. His statement wasn't just a denial, nor was it an admission. It was something greater, a reminder that celebrities are human beings with a right to privacy, dignity, and choice. But of course, boldness always comes with consequences. While fans cheered, Gossip outlets spun his words in every possible direction. Some claimed his confidence meant he was hiding a secret relationship. Others said he was preparing fans for an official announcement in the future. The speculation didn't stop. In fact, it grew louder. But what changed was the power dynamic. Xiao Zhan had shifted the spotlight back onto himself, no longer a silent target of gossip, but an active voice commanding his own story. The timing of this bold response also couldn't have been more significant. Xiao Zhan has been enjoying an extraordinary career streak, starring in critically acclaimed dramas and releasing music that continues to top charts. His professionalism, humility, and talent have made him a household name, admired by fans of all ages. Yet fame always comes with the price of intrusion. This moment felt like a declaration that he would not let gossip write the next chapter of his life. Imagine the scene again. The bright lights, the sea of fans holding glowing banners, the silence after the shocking question, and Xiao Zhan standing there like a figure carved in confidence. His words echoed beyond the hall, reaching millions online. It wasn't just a response. It was a moment of truth that will be remembered in the chronicles of his career. What makes this even more fascinating is how it reflects a broader shift in the entertainment industry. Traditionally, Asian celebrities, especially in China, are expected to remain neutral, avoid controversy, and never address rumors directly. But Xiao Zhan broke the mold. By speaking so boldly, he inspired discussions about privacy, respect, and the emotional toll of constant scrutiny. Fans began to question, should celebrities be forced to hide their relationships? Shouldn't they have the right to love openly, just like everyone else? The impact of Xiao Zhan's words extended beyond gossip. They sparked debates in forums, podcasts, and even mainstream media about how the industry handles its stars. Some experts praised his approach as a model for others, while critics argued it was too risky. Yet no one could deny that his response left an indelible mark. And while the world continues to speculate about his personal life, one thing is clear. Xiao Zhan has cemented his reputation as more than just an idol. He is a man of integrity, courage, and authenticity. His bold response turned a potentially embarrassing moment into an empowering statement that transcended the noise of rumors. In the days following the event, Xiao Zhan returned to work as if nothing had happened, diving into rehearsals, filming schedules, and fan interactions with the same dedication as always. That too was a statement in itself. Life moves on, and so does he. The rumors may persist, but Xiao Zhan remains steadfast, grounded in his truth, and determined to let his work speak louder than gossip ever could. As one fan beautifully summarized online, rumors are like shadows, they follow the light. But Xiao Zhan is the light itself, shining too bright for shadows to define him. And perhaps that's the ultimate message. Gossip will always exist. Speculation will never stop. But Xiao Zhan's boldness has shown us that what truly matters is not the noise around him, but the strength within him. Whether he's in love or not, that is his story to tell, in his own time, in his own way. Until then, fans and admirers alike can only continue to cheer for the man who dares to be himself in a world that constantly tries to script his life. So the next time the rumor mill spins out of control, remember this moment. Xiao Zhan on stage, facing the whispers head-on, and answering with a courage that left millions speechless. It wasn't just a response. It was history in the making. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Xiao Zhan's bold stand against rumors, don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive stories and insights into the lives of your favorite stars. The journey of Xiao Zhan is far from over, and trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. The moment Xiao Zhan uttered his bold words, the world seemed to pause. Those few seconds between the fans' daring question and his reply were so loaded with tension that you could almost feel the electricity in the air. The hall, filled with thousands of fans, was suddenly silent. Every heartbeat, every breath, seemed suspended in time. Xiao Zhan's gaze swept across the audience before he leaned forward toward the microphone. His lips curled into that familiar smile, one that usually melts hearts effortlessly. But this time, there was a sharpness behind it, a quiet storm hidden in his calm. When he finally spoke, His words were not just an answer. They were a declaration, a line drawn boldly in the sand. People will always talk, he said, his voice carrying a firmness that resonated to the very back row. They say I'm hiding. They say I'm pretending. But in the end, it's all just noise. I live my life as myself, not as the story people create for me. Gasps erupted across the hall. Some fans covered their mouths in shock. Others clutched their banners tighter, their eyes wide with disbelief. It was the kind of moment that didn't feel scripted, didn't feel rehearsed. It felt raw, unfiltered, real. For years, Xiao Zhan had played the role of the untouchable star, polite in interviews, graceful on stage, careful with his words. But he, in front of thousands, he showed a side of himself few had ever witnessed. There was fire in his tone, a rare and intoxicating mixture of honesty and rebellion. The cameras zoomed in, capturing the subtle glint in his eyes. His expression wasn't defensive, it was resolute. It wasn't the look of a man cornered by gossip, but of someone rising above it. Imagine the scene in slow motion. The microphone catching the faint echo of his voice, the spotlight bouncing off his black suit, the audience frozen in awe. Then, like a wave breaking over the shore, the crowd erupted. Shouts, applause, chants of his name, each one louder than the last. Xiao Zhan! Xiao Zhan! Xiao Zhan! The walls of the venue seemed to tremble under the roar of his supporters. Many had tears streaming down their faces, overwhelmed by the sheer bravery of their idol. Others held up glowing phones, recording the moment they knew would soon go viral across every platform in the country. But Xiao Zhan wasn't done. He raised his hand slightly, calming the audience once more, and added, "When I do fall in love, I will share it in my own time. Not because of rumors, not because of pressure, but because it's real, and because it's mine to tell." That statement hit harder than any denial could. It wasn't a rejection of love, it was a promise. A promise that he was human, capable of love and longing, but unwilling to let it be dictated by whispers in the dark. The fan who had asked the bold question sat stunned, her banner trembling in her hands. She had expected either a nervous laugh or a quick deflection, but what she got instead was a moment that would be replayed millions of times online. For a second, it seemed like she wanted to apologize, but the crowd around her erupted in applause once again, drowning out everything else. What happened next cemented the night in history. As the chants died down, Xiao Zhan broke into a softer smile, almost playful now. "You see," he teased, tilting his head slightly. "I answer honestly, and suddenly it becomes tomorrow's headline. So maybe I should just start singing before you make me say more." The audience roared with laughter and cheers. With that light-hearted twist, he transitioned into his next performance, the music filling the hall, but the echo of his earlier words still hanging heavily in the air. Backstage, whispers spread among the crew. Some were shocked he had addressed the rumors so directly, while others admitted they had seen it coming. "He's been carrying this for too long," one insider reportedly said. Tonight, he just let it out. Indeed, his response wasn't born out of impulse. It felt like a carefully considered moment, as if Xiao Zhan had decided that enough was enough. He had been under constant watch, his every smile analyzed, his friendships turned into love stories by the media, his silences interpreted as secrets. And now, he had broken free, choosing honesty over silence. The ripple effect was immediate. Within hours, clips of his response flooded social media. Fans replayed the moment again and again, dissecting every gesture, every inflection in his voice. Hashtags like #SxiaoZhanBoldResponse and #RespectZhan climbed to the top of trending lists. One fan posted, "I've followed Xiao Zhan for years, but tonight I saw him differently. He's not just an idol, he's a man who knows who he is and isn't afraid to say it." Another wrote, "He didn't just speak for himself, he spoke for every artist who deserves the right to love without judgment." Even critics who usually dismissed him had to acknowledge the impact of the moment. Entertainment columnists described his words as a masterclass in handling rumors and a rare show of defiance in an industry built on silence. Some predicted it would mark a turning point in how stars handle gossip going forward. And yet, amid all the noise, Xiao Zhan himself remained composed. The next day, he appeared at rehearsals as if nothing extraordinary had happened. He smiled, greeted staff politely, and carried on with his work. That quiet resilience only added to his mystique. While the world was still buzzing, he was already moving forward. But fans knew better. They knew they had witnessed history. That night wasn't just about debunking relationship rumors. It was about Xiao Zhan reclaiming his narrative. It was about reminding everyone that behind the bright lights and camera flashes, there's a man who refuses to let gossip define his life. And that's why this moment continues to live in the hearts of millions. It wasn't just a response. It was a revolution of words, a bold stand against the relentless tide of speculation. Xiao Zhan didn't just answer the question, he rewrote the script. So the next time you see rumors swirling online, remember the image of him standing there, microphone in hand, eyes unshaken, voice steady, telling the world, I live my life as me. Because sometimes, the boldest thing a star can do is simply be human. If you enjoyed this continuation of Xiao Zhan's powerful stand against persistent rumors, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with fellow fans, leave your thoughts in the comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more captivating stories about your favorite stars.